Good morning, folks. I'd like to introduce Sensei Guzman of Longview Academy Extreme Martial Arts. Sensei, please.
Thank you.
How you doing this
Thank
morning?
you for a lovely introduction.
Good.
Welcome to Longview Academy of Extreme Martial Arts. We're going to be going over some stick fighting today, some concepts that we work here at the school. So hope you enjoy this and hope that you'll be able to utilize some of the stuff and the concepts that we're utilizing here in the school to help you in your pursuit of the martial arts. Thank you. Okay, there are many different kinds of sticks that could be utilized. This is a stick we're going to be utilizing today. I just want to make you understand the concepts that we're working. A lot of systems have a lot of angles. Some have 12, they can go very, very high as far as the angles of attack and the angles of defense. What we try to do here is we try to basically narrow them down to 5 basic angles. Okay, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we hold the stick with a little bit of space off of the bottom so that we'd be able to utilize the stick if somebody comes in close combat with us. But the basic angle and what we try to do is, a lot of systems like to use 2 sticks. I like to use 1 stick. I like to be able to utilize the other hand for grabbing and for doing other things. I like to have the stick in my dominant hand. We usually start off with either the point of the stick facing the person or the bottom of the stick facing the person. We utilize the stick like this, and the first 5 angles would be, I come up this way, this would be an angle 1, this would be an angle 2, dropping it, coming like an uppercut in angle 3, a backhand in tennis in angle 4, and going straight forward in angle 5. Pete, may I utilize you to explain what I'm talking about? Now, we try to go point to point, point to point, meaning that when I come with my angle 1 and I'm coming in this direction, it basically will come on an angle like so. An angle 2 would come here. An angle 3 is the same thing, so we're literally making an X on the person's body. An angle 1, and what we're going to do with this is we're going to break his body up and we're going to pretend we cut him this way and we cut him down that way. So anything coming at him from the top of his head to his hip, regardless of what it is coming from the outside, is going to be considered an angle number 1. If I switch this to the opposite hand and I come from the outside, it's just an angle 1 with the left hand. An angle 2 would be me crossing my body, crossing the body. Anywhere from the top of his head down to his hip, crossing his body. A 3 would be from the hip to the ground, anything coming up. A 4 would be anything from the ground coming down. A 5 is anything straight forward. All right, thank you, Pete. Most commonly nowadays, you're going to probably have to contend with a number 5 and a number 1. Most fights, I believe, start off with a push or with an outside swinging. Most people believe that if you come outside, it's going to be a more powerful technique. Back in the days of yesteryear, the angle 4 would probably be more popular because it would be the samurai holding on his sword, pulling his sword out and coming up with his 4 first, and then maybe coming in with his number 1. Key thing and the most important thing to try to do is to try to learn to identify what angles are going to come at you. So very quickly, what I'm going to try to do is we're going to play a game called the identification drill. Now what the identification drill is, if you see me coming up and coming in this direction, you would scream out 1. If you see me coming across the body this way, it's 2. You train the eyes and the brains to see the body motion coming up, 3. Anything coming across the body, 4. And anything straight forward is 5. So what we try to do is we try and get the muscle memory going so that the body is going to automatically understand the angles that are coming, and it makes it that much simpler for you to be able to defend. Okay? So, Pete, can I borrow you with your stick, please? Now, if I'm standing this far from Pete, we have something which we call is the 3-foot rule. Which within the 3-foot rule, I'm going to be able to throw my kicks and punches and even my stick, and I still can't reach Pete. Even with the stick in my hand, I'm still having difficulties reaching Pete as long as we're 3 feet away from each other. Practicing with the stick though, we're both going to put the stick in our dominant hand and step forward. Okay, now, one of the key things that I want to try to make sure that I do, back up a second, Pete. One of the things I want to make sure is I want to extend my stick and I want him to extend his stick, because at no time do I want to be able to be close enough to hit his hand. If you hit even accidentally one time with the stick, you can really do some serious damage. A stick can do a lot of damage, generate a lot of power, and definitely break bones. we wrap the stick up the way we're wrapping the stick up here just to prevent it from breaking in practicing. Okay, so I'm going to hold the stick up a little bit, choke up on the stick a little bit. Now, the key thing is this, Pete, just stand here with the stick behind your back so I can utilize you for a second. If I'm going to go with the stick and I go to hit Pete with my number 1 attack, where I'm going to the collarbone or the shoulder, and Pete happens to come running forward, I'm going to be able to utilize this portion of the stick to be able to stop Pete. If I'm coming in this direction, same thing. If I can hit him this way or hit him this way, I utilize the stick that way. From uppercut here, I can come in this way, or this way, or forward this way, or this way, or point straight forward in that direction. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure ourselves out, and we're going to go through the angles. The other thing I want to say to Pete is make sure that you're hiding this hand. Now, inside of your body, up into this direction, against your chest. The reason for that is so it can easily be utilized in the event that we're going to do something. So if Pete comes at me with his stick, I hit his stick, I can now grab his hand and do something else to Pete. Okay? So I always like to be able to utilize the other hand to be able to grab and to trap, or also kicking and punching could actually also be able to be utilized. So the first drill that we do is we practice the angles. So we start this way and we go, make sure we're not going to hit back up a little bit because I don't want to hit your hand. We come back facing each other, we come up to chamber and we hit. 1, come to the other side, 2, drop it, 3, come across, 4, and on 5, I jab him, he jabs me. With the back of my hand, I control the stick, come up, and switch sides so I'm utilizing the left foot. Switch your feet. Good. So same thing. 1. You're going to find the left hand's going to be a little awkward and weird. 2, 3, 4, and straight forward 5. We block the stick with the back of the hand. We switch and we switch leads. Okay? Now, we're going to hit a little bit harder. Make sure you have a little bit of room on the bottom of the stick, so we're going to work the drill. So 1 through 5 drill. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, come back. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and come back. Now, you want to try to keep the elbow inside of the body, because what ends up happening is if you have the elbow outside of the body, watch Pete. Pete's keeping the elbow up. So do the first angle. 1. That's not bad. 2. There it is. It's up. See what happens. I'm easily now able to take, and I always, for some reason, I'll step on his foot to control him. I'm going to control him with this. I can now do some damage to him. I'm not worried about taking the stick away from Pete, because right now he's giving up the use of the hands by holding on to that. But you got to keep that elbow down. One more time. Do that 2 again. Better. Much better on the 2. You don't want to have the elbow up because somebody will control that arm and take that arm from you. Okay? So one more time. No, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's doing it again with the 4. So you got to make sure that you're aware. On the 4, you're going to come up. It's going to be up, but just be aware of that. Okay, great. Thank you, Pete. All right. That there, our swings right now are very powerful swings. Very powerful swings. And it's not just to swing with the arm. I'm not just doing this. What I'm basically doing is as I come here, I'm winding myself. I'm hitting with my whole body. I'm hitting with my whole body, not just the stick. Okay, next thing is, right now we're coming across these hard swings. Right now we're going to tap and come back. So Pete, let me borrow you a second, another drill. We stand with the sticks here. I come up, tap and come back. 2, tap and come back. 3, tap and come back. 4, tap and come back. Okay, great. Excellent. Thanks, Pete. All right. With this and the striking that we're going to do, I don't necessarily have to use a stick. Anything that I could have in my hand can be utilized effectively for the same purpose of this. As he's coming at me with the stick is going to give me distance off of the person, so I have a little bit of distance when I'm doing what I'm doing with them, and I can generate a lot of speed and power with the stick. Now, let's go over some techniques. Comes a second, Pete. I come into this direction and Pete is going to attack me. Let's go back into our fighting stance. Pete's going to attack me with his number 1 attack. He's going to hit me here. And, go ahead. I've been controlling it by hitting on the stick. In a real situation, I'm not going to try to hit the stick. Keep your hand there. I'm going to hit his hand. I want to try and hit his hand. I hit his hand, I hit his thumb, I break his hand, he's no longer able to hold on to the stick, okay? So right now, we're practicing, we're just hitting sticks, but later on you're gonna see that there's going to be other techniques that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna now pretend I'm hitting his hand, because I don't wanna hurt Pete, hit the stick and show you the counter. So Pete comes with the hitting the stick, I hit Pete here, I come right back and I'm gonna instantly hit Pete with the stick, holding on to the stick to control the stick, okay? If he comes at me with the 2, same thing. Hit the hand, hurt the hand, okay? Come straight up, okay? A 3, come into this position here, same thing. Hand, hit, okay? A 4, I come here, same thing. Control the hand, hit. Doesn't make a difference how you hit. Okay. Now what I want to go over with you guys is the defending of the stick, okay? So, again, if he has a stick and I don't have any stick, Pete, let me just relax 1 second. Let me just put the stick down for a second. We've modified our ready stance from this traditional karate stance. At our school, we study many different martial arts mixed together. Mixed martial arts is something that's new in the industry. I think it's a very, very good system because regardless of what range of fighting that you are going to encounter, our job is to try and make you familiar with it. Not an expert in any one range of fighting, but familiar with it. Because the thing that you cannot pick is your environment, where the fight's going to start. Whether it's in a football field or it's in a phone booth. Some of you youngsters don't know what a phone booth is, but there was a thing once where you used to go in to make a phone call, but for you young guys, we'll get into that another day. My age is starting to show, sorry, fellas. But what we basically do from this position, from our traditional yoi position, is keep our hands up. This is the bread and butter of our system. It's a non-threatening posture. It's sending a message to anyone who's out there who has the world of video cameras, and everybody has a phone, everybody has a camera on their phone. You have to take into consideration that you cannot just do certain things. You got to justify the use of force. And by me putting my hands in this non-threatening posture, where I put my hands and position my hands is ultimately going to determine what it is that you're going to do to hurt me. Okay? Now, the same way that we have 5 angles of attack, there are 5 angles of defense. So I'm going to show them to you right now. The defense would be me coming, as I bring my hands up, at the same time I'm going to bring my feet up off the ground. This hand movement hides this movement, and subconsciously you just got taller. I also can move quicker if I'm on the balls of my feet opposed to on my heels. But again, let's get past all of that. I have my hands up. Somebody's coming at me with the 1. My first step, these are called V steps. I'm going to step on a V. The traditional karate way would be here. I'm going to step on an angle and do my blocks. This is similar to that, but only slightly a little different. I prefer this a little bit better. I think it's a little easier to do and to be able to defend. So the steps would be here. I'm here. I step 1. I come back 2, and I'm not moving my hands. My body is taking my hands. My 3 is here, my 4 is here, and my 5 is here. Once again, I step on a 45 and I twist. I step on a 45 and I twist. I step into the person and defend. I step into the person, drop my hand, defend. I move my feet out, and my hands are out. So now, how are we going to practice that safely in the beginning? So Pete, come, please. And step forward as if you did the number 1 to me. Great. Now, the minute that his hand would come into me, my defense would be to step into him and to twist. I want all my points to be facing Pete. Pete, come on this angle a little bit here so they can see. One more time, come. I don't want to be here. I want to be inside of his body frame. Come back. Come at me with the 2. Here's my 2. Come at me with the 3. That's 4. Oops. 3. I defend here, I stop here, and he's running into this hand. A 4 would be coming across. Step, defend, block. And a 5 would be, when he's poking me, that I'm getting out of the way, pushing it down out of the way. Now, Let's now work some defense off of this, and I'm going to show you how it actually works. Okay, Pete's going to come at me with, he's going to start with a 1, and then we're going to take it from there, and I'm going to defend some of the techniques. So I'm minding my business, I have my hands up, Pete came with 1, I stop Pete. From this position that I stopped him, I change what he's doing, I do what I need to do. One more time, he comes in, same 1 again, stop, just hit and strike. From this position, if I want to get a little fancier, I now can control this, break the arm, okay? One more time. Comes at me with the 1 again. Here, I can twist and do something a little more fancy, okay? And again, I'm not concerned with taking the stick away. A lot of systems work on disarming the person. The stick is not the issue. Right now, Pete's the issue. He is actually the weapon. The weapon is just an extension of Pete's arm. So I'm trying to control Pete. He comes at me with the 2, same thing, I stop. What can I do? I can control him, I can do different things to him. If I want to take the stick away, that's fine. Not necessary, but that's fine. Come at me with the 2 again. Here, even simpler, as I change his focus, because I don't want him looking at me. If I can break his vision, his breathing, or his balance, he can't hurt me. But he hyperextended his arm. I change his face, I come in, and right there is the technique. From here, I can utilize low concept, which is here, take the guy off balance. Thank you, Pete. Now, the other thing I want to talk about real quickly is the 5 kicks that we work. The 5 kicks basically are bringing the knee up 1, extending the foot down 2, coming on a 45-degree angle 3, low kick 4, low 5. None of the kicks in the self-defense system that we work are high. They're very low kicks. We like to think of it as a high-low concept. Initially, when he's coming at me with the stick and he's coming high, I'm going to defend the stick and get out of the way, but at the same token, do different things to change his thought pattern. When he's coming at me with the stick, he thinks he's invincible. The minute he doesn't hit me, you know, there's that factor. I like to say the old crap factor. You know, there may be children listening, but you guys know what I mean. His mental attitude is going to change once, indeed, he's going to see that he didn't hit me, and all of a sudden now he's being hit. So watch again. The Kuntao kicks are just like a karate front kick of bringing the knee out and extending the foot. In most of these techniques, it's only the finished motion. People think that this motion don't mean anything, that means something, this means nothing, this means nothing. Every aspect, motion in all directions can be utilized for us to be able to accomplish our goal. So we're going to keep it simple. Anyone can do this. You don't have to say, okay, one second, Pete, before we fight, let me stretch, let me do these stretches. No, you have to be prepared right now, or what you're wearing, in the environment that you live in, the climate you live in. Certain times you're going to have on tighter clothes than other clothes. Certain times, you know, it's going to be a different situation. But everyone and anyone can be able to utilize these techniques. They're very simple. I'm now going to have him attack me again with the 1, and I'm going to show you guys how some of the kicks can actually come into play. So he attacks me with the 1. I stop and get him out of the way. With my foot, I kick him. That was enough to take him down. Wow, that was great. Normally, you may have to do more. So watch again. He comes, I come in, I kick him, off balance him, I'm going to the opposite foot. You cannot defend something that you cannot see. He comes at me with the 2, same thing, from here. Utilize the knee to the back, I could chop, I could punch, makes no difference what I do on the defense. Again, so now I'm going to just go through the angles 1 through 5 and show you guys some of the defenses. And again, I don't have anything in my mind. I don't teach do this and do that. The key thing I do teach is how to stop the person. If indeed I'm going to hit Pete with my stick, and Pete is here, from here to here is the most powerful that my stick is going to be. But if Pete steps on an angle, if I hit him over here, I'm going to hit him, but it's not going to be as effective. So what we try to do is join forces with the stick, join forces with the energy, join forces with Pete's body. Because if I'm the stronger guy, I can use strength. I was told, don't use strength. And don't use strength if you don't have it. But if you have strength, use the strength. If you can utilize his strength against him, is what we're trying to accomplish, it comes out to be something better for me. I think it's a little bit easier to do. When he commits himself to the technique, he commits himself to the attack, makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to defend him. So again, let me go through these a couple of times, nice and easy, and we'll see what happens. He comes at me with the 1, I'm stepping, change the focus, doing what I do to him, depending on what I want to do. I can take the stick away, and I can hit him. Comes at me with the 2, same thing, I'm here, I come here, I take off balance, and again, I defend. Now on the 3, you have to be a little bit careful, because the angle of the 3 is me stepping here. So he's kind of running into this elbow. And this elbow comes on an angle and actually hits the solar plexus, hits the area, so it can be very damaging to him. So be a little careful with this angle so I don't have to elbow you hard. If he comes in with the 3, I'm stepping in. Okay, from here, 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 I can take him off balance, and again, I have my stick and I go. The 4, I step in, I attack. Sorry, Pete, didn't mean to hit you so hard. Kick him here, and I can go. And with the 5, he comes in with the 5, I get out of the way, I come here, and again, I can do whatever I need to do to Pete. Okay. That's a little bit of what we do here with the sticks. I can spend a lot more time with this, but this is a little bit of an introduction to it. If you would like a little more information or would like to come in, we offer a first free class, introductory lesson. My location is in the borough of Staten Island. The address is 2098 Clove Road. My telephone number is 718-876-6920. Or you can reach me via my cell phone, 917-208-2916. I want to thank the Barry Group for allowing me to share some of my concepts with you guys, and I only hope that maybe you'd be able to accomplish and utilize them, and maybe never need to use them, but in the event that you do, you can utilize some of the things that we shared with you today. Thank you so much.